When we were young kids, we were told we can do anything with our lives. Some wanted to be firemen or even princesses, but no matter what road we took to get to our futures, we would reach many crossroads and experience many things in life. Every day, something new would contribute to our characters and create the person we would grow up to be. As a freshman this year, I am already composed of many different things that have made me who I am. 3 years ago, this was the introduction to my Who Am I speech. A couple weeks ago, I found this speech and was reading through it, hoping to find a spark of inspiration for what I'll say for the next 6 to 10 minutes. I found nothing. I found an essay clouded with bullshit reasons to support things that I claim to be. 3 years have passed, and I feel as if I'm a different person. But what has changed between freshman year and now? What life-altering event has happened? Who has walked in and who has walked out of my life that has impacted the way I carry myself, the way that I look at things? Experience. After procrastinating as much as possible, I began drawing out the map of experiences that have made me who I am. But I was quickly stuck. I looked up the definition of experience, and of course there wasn't just one. However, the most intriguing I found said that experience is the conscious events that make up an individual life. If I could change one thing about this definition, I would remove the up to make it say that experience is the conscious events that make an individual life. Because who are you without your experiences? I've grown up attending school on the west side of town, but always living on the east, at least 15 minutes away from school. I am fortunate to not be wearing blue and gold right now because my mom teaches at Bondurant. Where would I be without the small choice my mom made before I was born? I might be in the Franklin County Y Club, I might be in the Franklin County Band, and I might be on the Franklin County dance team, but I wouldn't be friends with the amazing people I'm friends with now, and I probably wouldn't have the great boyfriend I have. Without these things and these people, I would be a completely different person, and that being said, all of them have had such a lasting impact on who I am. The summer of 2013 enlightened me as I spent a week sleeping on gym floors and traveling around Kentucky doing community service. There were nights without showers, and there were sleeping bags and duffel bags piled in the back of a school bus as 29 stinky high school students buzzed with eagerness to serve. There was singing in the locker rooms at night when we did shower, and groggy but smiling faces in the morning when we woke up with the sun. It was such an amazing trip that really shaped the way that I view community service. This passion started with the Kentucky YMCA Youth Association, and more specifically the Y Corps service to the Commonwealth trip that summer. I guess you could say it was an experience that changed my life. In the first grade, I played violin with some other kids in my music class, and I remember being so nervous to play a little concert in the Capitol. In the third grade, it was a huge deal to start playing recorder, and I can recall quickly excelling and becoming one of the first kids to receive my black belt, the highest honor of yarn tied around your recorder that you could receive. In the sixth grade, I began playing clarinet and haven't been below second chair since. I got a keyboard from Santa Claus in the 7th grade and started fiddling around with radio tunes. Freshman year, Santa brought me a guitar that was way too big for me, so I foolishly didn't learn anything except for chords for my Oral Com pet peeve song. For my 17th birthday, I got a little Martin guitar, and yes, that is the guitar that Ed Sheeran plays, if you must ask, and I haven't stopped learning. Music is such a huge part of my life, and without the experiences I had in elementary and middle school, I don't think it would be that way. My experiences with music have offered me an environment to escape to and excel in. Similar with music, I've been dancing basically since I could walk. I started taking ballet classes when I was 3 at Capital City Dance Studios, all because my mom wanted a little ballerina. I haven't stopped dancing since then. Dance has helped to build the confidence I have in myself as well as the confidence I invest in others. When I dance alone, I love the feeling of it. I love that I can have my own moment to connect with myself and the music, similar to how I appreciate my ability to be independent. I need alone time and often shut down when constantly surrounded by people. However, there is no comparison to the bond shared with the team when you perform, just like the happiness I feel from being surrounded by other people. I am very comfortable with who I am, and I think some of that has derived from dance as well. A few years back when I would dance at the studio, surrounded by mirrors and other teenage girls who were thinner, fitter, prettier than I was, I would compare. My mind would be focused on how to get my hair to look like hers, my butt to look like another's, my leg to go up as high as that girl's. Now it's just me. I look in the mirrors at the studio and I see myself. I measure my own physical appearance and in comparison to no one else, decide if I like what I see, and I do. I do this in other situations as well, like when I make a choice, I decide if I'm happy with it and that I'm not choosing anything to please someone else. I think this mindset has put me at great balance with myself, and I consider myself to be a very real, down-to-earth person, and it all comes from me just doing me. My experience with dance has helped in finding myself, but I think something else also has had a significant impact on that part of who I am. Towards the end of 7th grade, I started getting picked on by another girl and her friends. I quickly realized that the bad attitude I had because of these girls was driving my own friends away from me. Soon I had no one to turn to, or at least I felt like it. I was mean to the people that cared because yes, even back then I wanted to appear as if I had it all together. So I brushed off their sympathy. Things only got worse. I would receive texts from this person, names would be thrown back and forth like slut and whore, but how can anyone really be either of those when you're only 13 years old? I heard about how they discussed me dying. I felt elbows sharply nudging me in the hallway, and eventually felt a fist to my head. This lasted until the beginning of freshman year. Despite how terrible these people made me feel, I am thankful to have had that experience because I have been nothing but resilient ever since. I have learned that I need to speak my mind and be true to myself. I have learned not to push the people that care out of my life because sometimes they don't have a problem with leaving. I have learned that success is the best revenge you can get on someone who makes you feel so small. Last week, I missed a few days of school to attend my cousin's wedding, and at the rehearsal dinner, the father of the groom stood to give his toast. He spoke of how he heard someone talk about the dash of someone's life, how on a headstone for a grave, you have the date of birth, a dash, and then the date of death. He spoke of how nothing else on that headstone really matters unless that dash is made significant. Because that's our whole life, right? The experiences that make your dash make you. They are the conscious events that make a life. And I'd like to think mine is off to a pretty good start.